Hello sewers, this video is on how to sew a blind hem stitch with your sewing machine. You can use this stitch to hem pants, skirts, curtains, etc. Here's a sample of it that I've done. As you can see, it's hardly visible on the side, and that's the back side where the hem is. Now, to do this stitch, the first thing is that it would be much easier if you have a blind stitch foot. This is my blind hem stitch foot for my machine. It has a little guide here that's going to be used when you're making the blind hem. Okay, the next thing you need to do is to fold your material the proper way. You need to, and I've already done this so you can see, you need to hem it about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch, and then you turn it up right where you want the hem to be. Okay, that's what it looks like. Now I'll move to the sewing machine so you can see how to exactly do this stitch. Okay, I'm back and I'm at the sewing machine. As I showed you how to fold it, but you should also then pin it. And what you need to do is to pin not directly on the edge. You need to pin down just a little bit. So I will do that real quickly along here so you can see. One more should do it. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to fold the hem back on the material like that. And you want to leave approximately 1/4 of an inch along there. Now you can position it under your machine. This little guide here gets positioned right next to the fold line. One thing I didn't mention is I want to show you what the stitch looks like. Over here on my machine you will see it. It has this little design, and that is the blind hem stitch. Okay, now we can start stitching. I'm going to be using contrasting thread so you'll be able to see exactly what has happened. What happens is it takes a few stitches and then it takes a stitch over into the hem area. Now, if you don't have a blind hem foot, presser foot, you can still do this stitch without it, but you just have to be a little more careful when you're doing it and go a little slower. Okay, now this is what it looks like, and you can see it's been catching the hem on the outside, so when you turn it over, although you're going to see it with this one because I used a contrasting thread, you have your little hem stitches. And let me repeat and show you what it looks like when you actually use the thread that matches the material. You can barely see it. It's almost invisible. You can also adjust the stitch length if you want more or less stitches catching on the main fabric. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to needlepointers.com YouTube channel, and also visit needlepointers.com for more sewing information and free sewing projects.